About 2 months ago, Reagan asked me to serve on the stewardship committee, and I told her no. And the reason I did was I was traveling a lot, and I felt like I couldn't commit to the meeting times or carry any responsibility in those meetings. And even though I was talking to her over the phone, I could kind of hear the wheels turning in her head, and she was thinking, okay, this guy's not going to serve on the committee. I'm going to make him talk about giving in church. And so I promise I will never turn down another committee assignment ever again. In all seriousness, we are in the stewardship campaign, and it hasn't been a hard sell this year because of how responsive the church was last year in this fiscal year 2013. The church set records for the amount of money pledged and given and for the amount of people who made pledges. In fact, from the year 2012 to the year 2013, 85 new families or members made a pledge. And that's pretty phenomenal in a pledge context. So we should all give ourselves a round of applause as to how the church responded this past year. And I would submit to you that if you look at what the church has done this year, it has been an excellent steward of the finances that it's been given. When you think about all the ministries that we have going, from children to youth, adult, teenagers, music, drama, you name it, there is an energy and an enthusiasm and emotion and momentum, everything moving to win souls to Christ. And I think our charge this stewardship season is to keep that momentum rolling. And so that is the charge. And what you can do right now is pray. In the next 2 weeks leading up to Consecration Sunday, for those of you who have already been praying about this, we thank you and would ask for your continued prayers. For those of you who haven't started praying yet, we would encourage you to pray every single day and ask what the Lord would have for you to do with respect to giving in the church. And to help you do that, we've sent 2 forms in the bulletin package for you to take home and consider as you go through this prayer time. The first form is a chart, and it's in the position of a stair step. And what you can do by looking on that chart is find out exactly where you fall among the giving in the church. And if you'll see the chart, what jumps off the page is that it's top-heavy. If you look at the top 3 rungs of the chart, those members and families account for 43% of the budget of this church. And just like every organization, the stronger the organization is, the more it's built from the ground up. The theory being it's better to have 100 people give $1 than one person give $100. And so when we look at the other end of that chart and we see that 59 members are not giving anything, there's room to build depth. And so the encouragement would be, see if we can climb a step. And to bring that home a little bit with more finer detail, if you'll flip the page, there's a second chart, and that's a weekly giving chart. And the way this chart works is think about your annual salary or your weekly salary and what you give on an annual basis, and divide that by 52 and find that number on the chart as compared to your annual salary or your weekly salary. And you see what percentage you are giving to the church. And then if you look 1 block to the left, you see how you can crank it up a notch and give 1% more, and just what that would look like. And for most of us, frankly, it wouldn't be that much pain to move 1 step to the left on this chart. So we ask you to pray about that. I want to close today with an event that I saw where our finances in this church were in action in the lives of our youth. Last week, I went to fall retreat with the youth at Camp Lake Stevens, which is just south of Oxford. And the event culminated with a worship service in a creek at 11:45 on a Saturday night. It was 38 degrees, and there were bonfires lit on the sandbars of this creek, more bonfires on the banks of the creek. The band that always plays at Breakthrough was there, and they were playing Jesus Paid It All and Set a Fire and Rhythm of Grace on the banks. And our youth waded out one at a time in this creek to serve each other communion. And it's an experience that I'll never forget, and I'm sure it either won souls or reaffirmed souls for Christ in our youth. And I thought about what made this event possible. For instance, if you look at that chart and you're given $14 a week, well, that $14 put gas in the vans that took those youth to Camp Lake Stevens. That $14 paid for a scholarship for one of our youth to go that would not have gone otherwise. That $14 paid for 3 meals of chicken tenders for 3 of our youth. And so what we do has a tangible, real-world, soul-winning and soul-affirming difference for Christ. So again, we encourage you to pray. We encourage you to also pray for the church, that the church would be good stewards of the funds it receives for fiscal year 2014. Thank you so much.